Revenge films.
We had this event coming up in our neighborhood. We got some fireworks for the event. But there were still a few days until the event, so we had to store it somewhere until then. The guy at the store told me,
It's pretty big, but as long as you're careful, you can store it in your house.
so I decided to keep it at my house. But my son was in 4th grade. I was a bit worried, so I didn't tell him about the fireworks. I hid it on the top shelf of the drawer. My husband and I stored shoes we didn't use daily on the top shelf, so I thought it would be safe. My son probably wouldn't even think about looking there. But turns out he heard us talking about the fireworks. Then he told his friend about it.
I got some special fireworks at my house.
Cool! What does it look like?
Not sure. I haven't seen it yet. Oh, that's too bad. I know! Why don't you come over and we can check it out? I know they hid it on the top shelf. They think I don't know, but I heard them talking.
Yes! Let's go!
Okay, next time you come over, I'll show it to you while Mom's out in the yard. Don't tell anyone though, okay?
Got it!
But his friend wasn't the only one in the park. The other boy heard my son talking. He was one of the bad kids. So, when I was busy out in the yard, he snuck into our house and took the fireworks. Then he went back to his house and told his friends.
I got some sweet fireworks. Come over to the river. I'll show you.
He got a bunch of his friends and decided to test out the fireworks near the river. First, they just played normally with the fireworks. But then they started throwing them at each other. It didn't take long for things to get out of hand. Then one of them dared another to make one of the fireworks explode in his hands. The bad kid held the firework in his hands and his friends lit it on fire. When it exploded, he heard a nasty thud inside his hands. Then he started crying. He fell to the ground. He was in a lot of pain.
I think my hand is gone!
He started crying. When you blow up fireworks in your hands, it only burns a little if you do it on your palms, but if you grip it hard enough, you can sometimes lose your hand. His hands didn't blow up, but his bones were shattered. But at the time, I had no idea he stole the fireworks. When I noticed that it was gone, I thought it was my son, so I yelled at him. He denied it, but at the time, I thought he was lying. I mean, who else could it be, right? That firework is for the event! And I hid it because I thought it was dangerous. Why did you hide it? Tell me where it is now!
I heard you and Dad talking about it, so I knew where it was, but I never took it! I didn't even touch it!
Stop lying! Your dad and I were the only ones who knew about it! You're saying your dad took it?
I really don't know!
Then he started crying. I was still really upset about it. I mean, they could have seriously been injured. I stayed mad at him for a while, even during dinner. Then, when my husband came home, I told him about our son. Then, we got a visitor around 11 p.m. It was the bad kid's parents, the one who stole the fireworks. They were furious.
This is your son's fault! My son is seriously injured! Apologize! I'm gonna sue you for damages!
I asked why he had the fireworks in the first place. They said that our son told him about the fireworks and asked him to come over. But my son said,
I only told one friend about the fireworks! Nobody else!
I didn't know what to believe, so we decided to ask the bad kid again. He finally came clean and told us what happened. But his parents didn't care that the son broke into my house and stole something. They kept yelling at me.
Why do you keep that in your house anyways? This is all your fault!
Your son broke into my house. That's a crime. If he was an adult, he'd be arrested. But he wouldn't back off. He kept saying that this was my son's fault. I had no choice but to call the cops. We decided to meet at the station a few days later. His parents were yelling at me until the very last minute. After they left, I apologized to my son for accusing him.
I'm sorry too. I shouldn't have told anyone about the fireworks.
The bad kid didn't lose any fingers, but his hand was pretty banged up. He couldn't really grip things anymore. The base of his thumb was deformed as well. His parents even showed me his x-ray pictures as evidence. A few weeks after the accident, his hand was enormous. They even sent me pictures of his stitches. I can't get the image out of my head. His mom said to me,
He can't play baseball anymore. He's learning how to use a computer, but he can't even do that anymore. He was practicing really hard to become a professional baseball player, but now his dreams are gone. This is all your fault. What are you gonna do about it?
they were really out of control. It was stressing me out. I decided to let the court decide. 6 months later, they finally gave up and dropped the lawsuit. The kid was 12, so he wasn't charged. But the judge said that this was all his fault since he was the one who broke into our house in the first place. I guess his parents realized they had no case against me, and if this got out, they'd be the ones to pay the price. About 2 months later, it was finally over. I found out later that we weren't the only ones that got sued. They also sued parents of the other kids that were there when he hurt his hands. I heard some parents got scared and agreed to pay them, but then when people found out about what really happened, they sued them back. They got sued for damages and blackmail. The tables have turned, I guess. Then, they paid everyone back and moved out of the city. I guess things got awkward for them. After that, I never heard about them again. But years later, when the kid turned 20, he got arrested for shoplifting. It was in the papers. I guess his hand was feeling better, but once a thief, always a thief, I guess.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.